All right, guys, welcome. I am going to help you all with 4.06 today. I've had lots of questions on about Russell, so we are going to look at this text and the answers, the questions, all the things, okay? So you can find it in Instruct in 4.05, okay? It's right before the quiz in the OLS, if this will pull up. All right, so this is the text right here, and I'm going to go through the questions and the answers. So this story talks about a brother. His name's Russell. Here are the pages, and of course it can be read to you. Okay, so I know it does take a minute to get through it. That's the next one. But there you go. This is the text. Have it read to you. And then question 1 is going to ask, which evidence from the text supports the inference that the author's mother is unimpressed with Russell's mathematical talents? So Russell's smart with math, he's real good with it, and mom is not impressed. We can gather that because of some statements that are made, okay? And this is going to be found in this text from this page right here. Okay. My goodness, sorry about that. Okay, so what evidence from the text supports inference that the author's mother is unimpressed with Russell's mathematical talents? So one of the answer choices is going to say, anxious to prove mommy wrong, Russell brought his discovery to Mr. Hershkowitz, his math teacher, who was both impressed and excited that one of his students thought about math beyond doing the homework. So does that show that his mom is unimpressed? I don't know about that. What about this one? Mommy didn't fuss too much when Russell got a part-time job through youth court. I don't know about that. What about the next one? Russell's strongest weapon was no, and he used it often. I think it came from him always being constantly pulled between Mommy, who wanted an obedient son, and Daddy, who wanted a platoon leader. Or D, or at least in my version it's D. I think they get scrambled for you guys. Rosalind and I translated Mommy's remark in the 3 ways she meant it. 1. Square roots won't put beans on the table. 2. No one's going to let black boys discover nothing else but basketball. And 3. If you're so smart, why can't you ever score over 80 in school? All right. So which one of those do you think would show that his mom is not impressed that he is good at math? All right. So that was question 1. Question 2. It's talking about tone. Okay, so remember, tone is going to be related to mood, and I'm trying to find the part in the text that says this. By my junior year, I lived on campus year-round. I'm skimming, looking for the first. There we go. At the top right here, 128. By my junior year, I lived on campus all year round. Between sorority life, political activism, boyfriends, and modern dance, I couldn't stop moving. I came home for brief visits, but these visits were too awkward without Rosalind. The house was profoundly still. Mommy stayed in her room. Russell didn't talk, let alone look at me. The chess set was still standing there, pieces and all. So which line contributes to the paragraph's ominous tone? And ominous, if you look that up in the dictionary, it's going to be kind of foreboding, spooky, creepy, not good. Okay. Is it going to be by my junior year, I lived on campus year-round? Does that show anything ominous or foreboding or scary, creepy, looming? I don't think so. What about the next one? Between sorority life, political activism, boyfriends, and modern dance, I couldn't stop moving. I don't know about that one. I came home for brief visits, but these visits were too awkward without Rosalind. Or, the house was profoundly still. Which one do you think shows the most ominous tone. I would say it's between those last two, that they were awkward or the house was profoundly still. What do you think? All right, moving on to number 3. Question number 3 asks, which sentence best describes a central idea in the text? So if you go all the way, I think that's the last page, yep, all the way to the last page, 129, and read all of it, what is a central idea of the text? Is it mental illness can take a great toll, but it does not always sever the bonds that connect people? Okay, so what do you think? If you look down at the end, I still miss my brother. I was out one day shopping for groceries. Stephanie and my daughter said, "There's Uncle Russell." He was rummaging for bottles. He looked up in time as we crossed toward him and said, "Happy birthday, little sister." I smiled and said, "Hey, Russell." So it sounds like even though the difficulties they have had, there's still some connection there. So maybe that's a good answer. What about the next? With enough love, families can successfully deal with any problems they face. Did they deal with the problems they faced? Or did things just get worse and then there was still some kind of connection? I don't know. The next one, certain mental illnesses can be identified early and treated before they become too disabling. Did they treat it? Did he overcome that? Anything? And then the last one, some people deal with mental illness better than others. Does it talk about any kind of comparison of how they dealt with it versus others? Okay, so I think to help y'all with this one, I would just say that there is definitely a connection despite all the things. So if you read the very last couple paragraphs here, I think that will help you with that question. All right, so that was 3. Let me look at 4. All right, and question 4, guys. This one says, here at the end of the text, why does the author not help Russell when she sees him at the end of her narrative? Okay, so back here, same as that last question, we're looking at the end. Why does she not help him? She knows Russell will refuse her help. Oh, goodness. She can't afford to help him. Does it say anything about her not being able to afford it? She does not want to help him. Do you get that from here? I still miss my brother. I smiled and said, "Hey." Do you think it's that she doesn't want to help him? She's afraid of him. The smile, "Hey, Russell," doesn't tell me she's afraid of him. So what do you think the best answer is from this one? I am sorry about that. All right, and question 5, our last one. This one asks about the chessboard, okay? So going back, the chessboard that the author and Russell played with symbolizes, does it symbolize their good-natured relationship? Go back and look. Right here it says this, the house was profoundly still. The chess set was still standing there, pieces and all. Okay, so does that sound like a bitter rivalry? A loss of innocence? The start of the mental health struggles, or their good-natured relationship? Looking back on it here with this exclamation point, it looks like it was a good thing. The chess set was still standing there, pieces and all. So it seems like a good thing, right? So would that be their good-natured relationship, their bitter rivalry, loss of innocence, or the start of health struggles? Okay, so there you go, guys. I hope that helps you with 4.06. If you do score poorly on it, be sure to use all 3 attempts, and hopefully y'all get a good grade on this one. Okay, it's time for me to go, says the baby. All right, bye.